Hi, Phil.
Hey Josh, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Your plants okay behind you? Is anything going to fall on you in the next 30 seconds? Or do we
No,
have them like
I'm I've harnessed them in. I'm working on it. Yeah.
you
Fishing
staple them to
line.
the wall? Or what
No,
did you do?
fishing line.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
pretty close.
Okay. Well, are you excited for the top 5 biggest hockey card sales from last week, Phil?
I am. I am big time. The week last week's was pretty interesting. We got some good variety in here. I hope it's more than Matthews Young Guns and McDavid Young Guns. So let's see what we got.
There's no young guns, but there
Good.
is one player that takes 3 of the top 5 spots this week. Do you want to guess? And it's not Jake Sanderson. Sorry, but do you want to guess who
No.
it is? Yeah.
Lane Hudson. Kids on fire.
Nope.
Oh, that's a good guess. Can you tell me that's a good guess?
Yeah, that's a good guess. I like that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, you just have to find out. Are you ready? Here we
Let's
go.
get to it. Let's go.
Number 5, Connor McDavid leads off our top 5 sales this week with this 2015-16 The Cup Enshrinements, I guess rookie auto out of 99 PSA 10, sold for $6,000 by the Fanatics Collect weekly auction last week. Now, Phil, do I lose like my hockey hobby license here if I come out and just say, is this card kind of ugly?
Yeah, it's washed out. It's like bleach ran over it. Yeah.
Yes. Now, this may be one of those where we're going to get comments like, oh, in hand, it's a lot better. And that could very much well be the case. But I don't love cards at all that have that washed out. Like, that's why I very controversially will say I prefer an O-Pee-Chee Platinum non-autoed rookie versus the autoed, because they have to wash out that spot on the card to make the auto stick to it. And I get distracted by all the white washout space on the chromium. So, and again, I haven't seen one of these in person, so I don't know. It might be beautiful, but yeah, we get to be, what do we say, Phil? Subjectively irrational.
Subjectively irrational. Yeah, it's my phrase of the year, phrase of the decade.
Mhm.
T-shirts are coming at you soon. I'm pretty impressed that it's a 10 cup card. I get it. It's not a patch, so
Yeah.
there are less variables to grade there. But fantastic. It's got a 10 from PSA. I do want to point something out. I feel like we're 10 years later. Doesn't McDavid, washed out or not, we're starting to see the separation of man to boy. Look how young he looked. We can
He's
say
a wee lass.
yeah, we watched him grow up in the league and dominate, and he's
Mhm.
just a young lad there, right? Rookie year.
Another note is this $6,000 sale is a record sale, all-time record high for the card. The previous high was 5,650 last February for a PSA 9 copy. And I think you're right. And one thing that really does separate this copy is it's very, very hard to find any cup card to get a PSA 10 grade.
Yeah, it's bold even sending that in, I find.
Yeah. Oh, and it is really 6,000. The graphic says 6,200, but this is why we're a gong show and we are putzes.
Why? What's the real price? 6,000 even?
6,000. Yeah.
Ah, your
I forgot
fat
to change
fingers hit the 2, eh? That's on the keyboard. That's on the way the other side.
No. There's a reason, because the number 4 did sell for 6,200, and I just didn't update the number. That's
excellent. Oh, heavy contrast on this bad boy, eh? Woo!
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like they took to make a Spinal Tap reference, they went to 11 on the contracts. It looks like McDavid's on the surface of the sun here. It is number 4 this week is another Connor McDavid. 2015-16 Upper Deck Premier 0304 Tribute rookie RPA out of 49 BGS 910, sold for $6,200 US via eBay on January 16th. This card has a lot going on, and I stared at it for a long time. Like, it's got a lot of text on it, which isn't bad, but half the text goes vertically up and down, then the other half the text goes horizontally left and right. The patch window is a very interesting something. It looks like a goalpost for like a football game, or something like that.
It's peculiar. Chunky patch, though. I like this card.
Chunky, I do too. Yeah, I'd kind of like to see it without, like going massive on the contrast, because I know it doesn't. It's probably a little duller than this.
Would you rather this or the enshrinements?
Oh, I take this. I think. Wouldn't you?
Old me would have never taken this because I've been a Premier snob, but I'm a fan of Premier these days, and I like this Premier card. So I would take
I
this.
like how they did the Premier logo, like the treatment of it, where like every other letter is in the background, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of interesting.
A lot of tension went into it, I find, even though it's a tribute.
What else surprises me about liking this card is I typically am more the minimalist kind of person, and there's not like a square millimeter of available space on this card. There's so much going on, but it just kind of works.
It's a noisy card.
Noisy, but works.
And his auto, I kind of feel like when he signed the card, it was probably the card was on a 4. I mean, we're really nerding out here, but don't you notice like it's got a beautiful flow? So when you go to sign something and it's horizontal, like at a perfect 45, it's not, or 90, sorry. It's a very similar autograph. I feel like he signed that on a bit of an angle, and it's got some good streaking, good flow. I bet you that autograph looks amazing in person.
My favorite part of the McDavid auto, and what I always want in an auto, is I'm a big fan of the devil tail.
Okay.
You know that, right? He puts like a little devil tail on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's on purpose or what that is, but
probably. I would think so.
Probably is.
Yeah. His dad probably taught him that. Son, do this. People will respect it.
McJesus puts the devil's tail in his auto. That's kind of
vibricated tail. Yeah.
There we go. Oh yeah, so it sold via eBay on January 16th. This was actually for $6,200. So yeah, again, sorry about that. Okay, ready for number 3. Will it be another Connor McDavid? The anticipation is, I know, killing you. It's not. It's your guy.
Yeah.
Auston Matthews. And there's something really surprising to me about this card. It feels low, doesn't it? At $6,000.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
15 US, because it's his 2021, the Cup NHL Shield Auto 101.
That seems like a low price, 10,000 Canadian. I mean, I sold my Parker's Champions patch auto for 1,000. 1,000 Canadian. This is only 10x a Parker's Champions patch auto.
Yeah, no, shouldn't be. Now it's the first time this card is sold, but it's not the first Cup Shield 101 that has sold. So the 2019 version, the year prior, has sold actually 3 times for 9,000 US in September 2023, 11,000 US in February of this past year, and then in last September for 8,400. And then also this past October, the 2022-23 the Cup Auston Matthews Shield Patch 101 auto sold for 10,000 US. So I would say 6,400 is pretty low.
Is this auction or buy it now? Auction, I'm assuming.
It was auction, I believe.
With Slab Sharks or just random?
Somebody else. That's
interesting. Maybe that's why. Maybe that shows why Slab Sharks. We didn't plan this, but maybe that's recognition means a lot. Can't be like, oh, it's on eBay, they'll find it. I find lots of cards that are mislabeled and not labeled well, you know.
For non-rookie cards, where does the Shield Patch Auto 101 fall in from you? Is it the top 5 most important cards for a player, or are they
non-rookie? Non-rookie year doesn't mean much to me. So I had the opportunity of buying last year's Cup Brady 101 Shield, and I offered 1,200 Canadian. I mean, I lost the card on $80 because the young lady shopped it around everybody, and that meant the more to her. Anyways, I won't pay more than $1,200 Canadian for a Brady 101 Shield, which is pretty low, I would think. I think there's some Ottawa guys out there paying $1,500, $2,000. This seems, all jokes aside, I respect Auston Matthews' ability to play amazing hockey, some of the best in the world. This is a very low price for a 101 Shield for Auston Matthews.
Well, the nice thing too about the non-rookie is they're game used, at least, right? Where the rookie is photo shoot or something like that, usually event used, something like that.
Yeah, his DNA's on this card. Well, maybe not, because he'd have to sweat during the game. I don't see much sweating going on. So,
is there a mustache hair? Do you see one?
Ew, gross.
All right, number 2. Now, at first, Phil, I was like, oh boy, this might not be good, because it's hard not to notice the ancient PSA slab that this 1979 O-Pee-Chee Wayne Gretzky PSA 8 is in. That's like a really old slab. Like probably one of the very...
It's a 5.6 these days.
Earliest graded. But if you go and spend time and the best you can in this photo, I'm going to argue this card is really nice.
Yeah.
for a PSA 8. And this is the whole thing about buying Gretzky rookies. I call it a hobby in of its own. I would never advise it for somebody that doesn't have a good solid 3-4 years in the hobby, because like in this example in the PSA 8, there's 825 copies, and you will find a huge spectrum of condition in those 825. You will find some cards that you're like, wow, could this be a 9 or better? And you'll find some that you'd rather have like a 4 over, because a lot of the stuff gets missed by graders when it comes to like registration, especially, and maybe print imperfections. But the registration, well, first of all, the centering,
Beautiful.
pretty good, huh?
Very good. Look at that oil drop too. Very nice. The Oilers beside the Edmonton, almost perfect. Yeah. The massive amount of white on the bottom right corner doesn't concern you?
Oh, massive. Like,
well, look at the edge. Look at the edge, the corner, and the way it goes up. That's great.
It does have the rough cut. It does have the rough cut too. So what do you think that like what amount of white should be for an 8?
That card is not even. So I'm just going with what's on my screen.
Yeah.
I'll even do you this. And
wow, very exciting.
Yeah, it even looks worse.
Now that you can see
the bottom and even the top right. It's got a bit of a slant to it.
But it is rough cut though, and so you're gonna get a little bit of the fraying on that too. So I'm gonna meet you in the middle and disagree with you 50% there. But the interesting thing though is that, so if you look back at the last year of sales of a PSA 8 1979 Gretzky O-Pee-Chee, there's been something like 42 sales. This is actually the 52-week low.
Yeah. No, this is a cheap price for an 8. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now the high sale in the last year is 15,300 US. So in
my head, I usually go about 20-25 for a PSA 8 in Canadian. So that's about right.
Okay. So it sounds like I like this card a little bit better than you do.
Yeah, I want my rough cut to be very consistent.
Yeah.
And I'd have to really look at this card because maybe the thick part of the PSA slab is hiding the rest of the rough cut uniformity. If it's and usually the heavier of the rough cut is on the left side. This is on the right. Yeah. That seems a little peculiar to me.
I think you have to look at it closer. We'll talk about it later and we'll cry it out.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, number 1 this week. 2015-16 Connor McDavid Future Watch Auto out of 999 PSA 10 sold for $13,600 US on January 14th via eBay auction. It's already the 3rd public sale of the McDavid Future Watch Auto this year, so far in January. A raw copy sold for $4,520 US on the 13th. A PSA 9 for $5,275 US on the 9th. So we're seeing basically, based on this month, a 3x multiplier on raw and a 2.5 on a PSA 9 to get that PSA 10.
That's wild. I would not. I good on PSA for being a business, but I value, I'll say it again, anyone in the hobby's opinion that's been in the hobby for 3 to 5 years, probably more than the grader grading this card. But
you look how cool
the 999 out of 999 is. That means that I love that. That to me is worth it.
No, do you think that factored into the price?
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I see 66 out of 99 cards, love it. I love that. It makes my eyes feel nice.
There's like a symmetry to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to guess how many PSA 10s of this card there are? What the pop count is?
180.
67.
Oh, it was triple.
Now, only 168 have been graded by PSA, so about a 40% gem rate. Now, as far as 52-week highs and lows, the 52-week low for this card is 10,100, and the 52-week high is 15,200. So we're a little bit above average. The average price paid over the last 15 sales in the past year of a McDavid Future Watch Auto PSA 10 is $12,830. So again, a little, maybe that $999 out of $999 out of $999 did drive a little bit of premium, or somebody just opened up the wallet a little bit bigger. Okay, I want to go back now to, because let's just talk rookie autos. So let's compare this McDavid Future Watch Auto PSA 10 at $13,600 versus the first card we talked about.
Yeah.
Now, what's the better value, right? Is it at 6,000? It's not 6,200. At 6,000, is the Enshrinements Auto PSA 10 a better value, or at 13,600 is the Future Watch Auto PSA 10 a better value?
I'm gonna go with, and I don't want to. I'm gonna go with the Future Watch PSA 10. Unfortunately, no one's looking for the. You know what the Cup Enshrinements is? It's like signature materials. Oh, it's a Cup card. It's his rookie year. Yeah, no one cares, dude. I don't know why. I'm sorry, but no one cares. You know.
Well, what's your overall thoughts on this week?
I love that Premier card. That's my favorite card out of all 5. I think the autograph the best. I think the card's the best. But I really like this 666 out of 666 card. Yeah, thank you.
You might want to clean those glasses a little bit.
Yeah. They're not big enough, eh?
All right, well, that's your top 5 selling hockey cards for last week. If you enjoyed the video, please, like and subscribe. That'd be great. And we will, of course, be back again next week.